Not a single country in Europe wants to own this piece of land, so what could possibly be so bad about possessing it?
I don't understand what exactly does it mean that not a single country in Europe wants to own this piece of land. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? I mean, it's insane statement. I mean, these are two countries, Serbia and Croatia, of which in continuation, whoever this guy is going to state that Serbia was a part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Not really. This part of the Serbia, however, yes, it's called Vojvodina, and he doesn't explain any of this stuff. What bothers me a little bit more is that if no country wants this piece of land, why is it called now a LIBERLAND? Why do Germans try to get this piece of land if nobody wants this piece of land? Extremely crazy, but it's not his fault really. But truly insane, isn't it?
This tiny 7 square kilometer unclaimed area is sandwiched in between Croatia and Serbia, and to understand how this all happened, we have to go back to the early 1900s. At this time, the Austro-Hungarian Empire is at its absolute peak. You see, within the empire, the government decided to split the ethnic groups of the Croats and the Serbs along the Danube River, and at the time, this border wasn't an issue. However, as the next century passed by, Austria-Hungary would find itself breaking apart into smaller and smaller pieces until both Croatia and Serbia were independent countries.
No, that's not the way it happened. That's insane. That's just more and more lies. That's why the YouTube should consider unpublishing the videos that publish stuff like this. They should consider taking actions against channels, against YouTube channels that disseminate a complete lunacy. No, that's not the way it happened. The way it happened was the Austro-Hungarian Empire had fallen apart. It was the kingdom of the Serbs, Slovenes, Croats that took borders. So what you see right there is also acknowledges Croatia, Serbia amongst others. There were other countries also involved in this kingdom of Serbs, Croats, Slovenes. And then it just happened so that the World War II took place. And at the end of the World War II, that was a country called Yugoslavia that appeared on the map. Croatia, Serbia, these are just republics, just the same as it was in the kingdom of the Serbs, Croats, Slovenes, etc. So what the hell does this have to do with the Austro-Hungarian Empire? I don't understand. And it's been some time since it happened that the Austro-Hungarian Empire had fallen apart and was replaced by the kingdom of Serbs, Croats, Slovenes, and afterwards by the Yugoslavia. And finally, independent Croatia would also turn out to be a Serbia, Bosnia, Slovenia, Macedonia, Montenegro, and so on. This, however, had nothing to do with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's got nothing to do with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Let's continue with this stuff. Totally insane. I can smell lunacy in this video too much lunacy.
Problems started to arise when the countries noticed that the river which once divided their borders had changed its course completely, and this resulted in a lot of land changing possession, most of which went to Serbia.
No, there was no problems. There's actually no problems. The map is there. The map is charted. However, that's the way it happened. Yes, the river changed its course. But that did not result in border changes. That resulted in water course changes, but not official border changes. So what you see right there on the other side, on the right side of the what used to be a border, that still belongs to Croatia.
Croatia wasn't too happy about this, so they made the claim that the border...
Why would they not be happy about this?
...should follow the path of the river as it flowed 100 years ago.
What should they do? Should they, because of the river, because the river changed its course, they should just give in on the territory that belonged officially to Croatia? If that's the way it would work, you would just change the river course somewhere in Hungary, and you would give another piece of Croatia or maybe even Serbia to either of the two.
These two different claims of country borders resulted in a few clashing disputed regions, as well as one big region that neither country claimed. This technically...
There is no disputes. This is where the lunacy is the biggest. The one who is making a dispute, war situation, war-like situation, is a Habsburg family with a Czech individual, Jedlička, from Czech Republic, whom they have hired to represent war interests, basically a war situation in this area. This is where the lunacy completely explodes out of the box, totally. I mean, what kind of video the fuck is this? Seriously, and I have to ask also, Hrvatski Sabor, Croatian state also, why do you allow this kind of stuff to climb out of the box? I mean, isn't it enough? I mean, you're causing people, your own people, problems, mental problems. You're causing them grievance. I mean, with this kind of stuff, it's not okay, and you're destabilizing the region, peace in a region.
means that anybody could just create their own country.
Yeah, it means that just anybody can create its own country? Really? Let's do this stuff again.
Not a single country in Europe wants to own this piece of land. The next century passed by, Austria-Hungary, until both Croatia and Serbia were independent countries. Problems started to arise when the countries noticed that the river which once divided their borders had changed its course completely, and this resulted in a lot of land changing possession, most of which went to Serbia. Croatia wasn't too happy about this, so they made the claim that the border should follow the path of the river as it flowed 100 years ago. These two different claims of country borders resulted in a few clashing disputed regions, as well as one big region that neither country claimed. This technically means that anybody could just create their own country.
I mean, this casts a dark shadow on a Central Intelligence Agency. This guy sounds like American. And he's got a free hands of doing this? Really?
Not a single country in Europe wants to own this piece of land, so what could possibly... They made the claim that the border should follow the path of the river as it flowed 100 years ago. These two different claims of country borders resulted in a few clashing disputed regions, as well as one big region that neither country claimed. This technically means that anybody could just create their own country. Not a single country in Europe wants to own this piece of land, so what could possibly be so bad about possessing it? This tiny 7 square kilometer unclaimed area is...
We are completely surrounded right now by Croatian police. There's 3 boats, 2 police cars, and there's police walking on the beach.
Turn off the phone, he says.
Okay. There are 197 countries on Earth. But is that number about to change? What happens when people come together to self-determine a new national identity? What is Liberland? I'm so determined to see this place. I'm so determined. All right. I believe this boat is faster than the Croatian police.
Yes,
so.
yes. By around 5 kilometers, so we're always like, hello.
See you later, guys.
We'll try to pass the border police check again.
Hopefully they won't stop us again.
This is this individual, this Czech guy at Lichka, where they would continue to hijack me on this island to create international disputes. What else? Listen up, I'm gonna say to you like this. If this was a situation anywhere in the Germany, the only thing you would happen basically is following, or in Austria, or basically any other country in a Western hemisphere, you would have 2 things happen. And I also suggest the following to the Croatian state. That's what basically ambulance vehicles sent to Liberland in entourage of police, Croatian police, who should shackle the residents of Liberland, literally arrest them, shackle them, place them inside of the ambulance vehicles, and as such transport them to the local prison, whatever prison facility might be. I think the best one that would fit to this incident would be located in the Zagreb courthouse, a prison located in the capital of Croatia. It's called Zagreb. The following morning, I would have these people appear at the judge, where professionals, psychiatrists with the professional psychiatric licenses next to the state prosecutors would await for their arrival. Once I would get them to the court, I would, as a judge, propose psychiatrists, mental health professionals to take them to a facility. Doesn't matter, either a psychiatric facility or a prison facility, where they would simply do a little checkup with them to see if they're even capable to stand the trial, the court. Upon establishing their mental status, their health, their mental health status, yeah, if it only would be established that these people do not recognize Croatian state, which this is de facto in this case, I would summon these people back to a courthouse. If it would be established that something is they're not capable to stand the trial, I would simply place them in a hostel within a psychiatric system, where I would safely, I would accommodate them to be on a safe location till a Czech authorities would respond, Czech or Austrian or German authorities would respond to a request to assist with mentally ill people, obviously. However, like I said, most likely these people would probably continue with a LIBERLAND theory, and for that matter, I would just summon them back to the court the next day, where they would appear and write them a really hefty financial fine. Everything in Germany, Austria, United States, Britain, whatever it is that you go, anyhow, it goes through the financial system. Money is the one that decides about everything, yes. So once I would ensure that all the costs, everything, expenses were included in a fee, which I would issue them, order them to pay, is basically where I would return them back to a prison facility or a psychiatric facility, doesn't matter, again, where I would, obviously not a psychiatric facility, or maybe the psychiatric facility, it depends how the court would go through, where they would await for the pickup from their Czech, Austrian, German, whatever authorities, with also what I would submit to their governments is a bill to pay to porovnati dužnosti, to fulfill the requirements, the financial, which occur during financial losses, basically, which occur for the police interventions and all that stuff. You know, it's just as simple as this. If it would have been established that they cannot fulfill their financial obligations or contrary to that, it will be established in any way they don't recognize Croatian independence, or this is where the Liberland theory gets into. That's where you go with this theory. I would also, however, issue them a restriction to the Croatia by prohibiting them from entering Croatian country in their lifetimes again. I don't care whether that will be Habsburgs or wherever that will be. That's the way it works. Wherever country incidents like this would occur. I'm sure you're aware, not too long ago, Croatia was involved in so-called the Domovinski Rat. That's the war for the homeland war. From Serbian invasion, something similar to what took place afterwards to Ukraine. Happened also here on Balkans against several countries. And causing this kind of psychological harm to the people in Croatia. They just don't deserve this kind of stuff. It's stressing not only people in Croatia, but in the entire region, with a country that is still bloodthirsty, that is still eager to engage in a war. That's called Serbia, and everybody knows it. So that's basically how you already should handle this case, and you did not. You're using psychiatrists to cause harm to the people like myself, and you allow criminals to do all kinds of stuff. So probably that world would not see for what you are, talking to Croatian Sabor right now, or Croatian Parliament. It is just as simple as this. It goes into the mental health issues, and the countries that are involved, the citizens of the countries that are involved in something like this, actually created international incident. Like, you have no right to call a piece of land in another country as, proclaim one as your own country. You're insane, actually. It got everything to do with the psychiatry, not with the psychology, because your acts are actually acts of violence. You're making claims that are actually violent claims, and they go straight into the mental status, mental health issues of the people, and really are touching the war issues, national integrity, etc., etc. Insane, fucking insane. And yeah, well, it's good to know that Habsburgs are behind this issue. If it's going to help the Habsburgs, I stated this. Sad, very, very, very sad. That Austro-Hungarian status is just decaying itself further and further and further, with smoke really out there that would stand up for the even for the friendship with Austrians or Hungarians. This is going fucking faster than smoke up the air. Everything, entire history of this area, region, to which Croatia did, and Slovenia did too. Somewhat they really did, obligated themselves to keep up with. That's how this, also this independence had something to do also with, something a little also had to do with that. And with this kind of criminal conduct like this is just, that's all there is to it. Some people build things so that other people simply, boom, burn them. I built these things. That's why I'm angry. That's why I'm insulted about the Habsburgs. Because they presented me and to the Croats in a very wrong light. They presented me to the Austrians in a very wrong light, to Hungarians, Slovenians, to absolutely allow them to do stuff, very bad stuff to me. I'm really insulted with this kind of conduct. It's really, really, really criminal conduct. If you want to do something good for yourself, if you're in Austria, I do get rid of Habsburgs. That would be number one step I would do. I get them the fuck out of the doorstep of their castles per ASAP. Because this kind of conduct is totally insane. It's not only irresponsible, it's insane. Thanks for watching this video.